guys, welcome to Vlogust. So this is my second vlog. I am vlogging every week in the month of August, and so this week I'm going to talk to you about gluten-free diet, food allergies, and leaky gut syndrome. In January of 2013, I was diagnosed with gluten allergy and stone fruit and cinnamon and aspartame and all of these other food allergies that I'd never had before. And so, because I was feeling really ill, and I went to my doctor. And because of that, I spent the last 2 years trying to be gluten-free. And it was really hard to be gluten-free because gluten didn't, in the beginning, when I ate gluten, I just had some gut upset, some digestion upset, but it didn't make me really, really ill. But that changed, and over the next year, it progressed to the point where if I ate gluten, I was violently ill. And so I knew I had to do something. I knew I didn't want to be gluten-free for the rest of my life. I knew that I didn't want these allergies to continue. I knew that inflammation leads to disease, and I knew I was having inflammation, and I knew that I just wasn't healthy. And being a health educator, it's really important to me that I use my education and my skills to maintain my and my family's health. And so I had the harebrained idea that I was going to heal my own leaky gut. So I developed a protocol, and the first thing I did was I chose a diet. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, but I chose a diet that I thought I could handle, and so I did choose the GAPS diet. I went to spiritofhealthkc.com. I ordered the Internal Bliss cookbook. I ordered that. I watched a lot of videos. Spirit of Health KC has YouTube videos. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to ferment foods, how to use matcha, which is green tea. I learned so much. So I just spent my days learning how to do things, because skill building is really important when everything else is kind of not available to you. So if you just have stuff in the cabinets and you haven't prepared for the day of how you're going to eat that day, and you have skills, then those skills will get you through it. So if you know how to ferment your own food, if you know how to make a bone broth, if you know how to cook a banana pancake and things like that, if you know how to use butternut squash and squashes for squash pancakes and all of that. So it was really important to me so that I build my own skills, so that I just knew what to do. It was like regular cooking. It was like, this is what you eat and this is how you make it. And I didn't have those skills. I didn't know how to ferment food. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to make bone broth. I didn't know how to roast butternut squash and other squashes. So I spent a month learning. Every week I would choose a different skill, and I would just watch a bunch of videos. I'd go and buy the ingredients, and I would figure it out. And that's just what I did for a month. And every week I made a bone broth that month, and I froze it. And I really felt empowered, and it felt good. And I set a date that I was going to begin my GAPS diet, and that's what I did. Pardon the truck behind me, you guys. So that's what I did, and it felt good. So I had a 16-week protocol. So I was going to be working on this diet and eating this way for 16 weeks. I'll tell you what I did do. I eliminated grains, and I'd already eliminated grains anyway, but that included white rice and quinoa, which are two of my favorites, but they're not easily digestible, so I had to let them go for the 16 weeks. I eliminated legumes, starchy vegetables, which include potatoes, and I promise you that part just about killed me, because when I became gluten-free, I substituted potatoes for a lot of the comfort food that I was used to eating, like breads and things. And so, yeah, that was the tough one. High glycemic fruits like bananas, and I told you before that I was allergic to stone fruit, so I was already eliminating a lot of the dried fruits. And sugar. Sugar's a gut damager. That's just how it is. So I let sugar go. I used, sometimes I would use like an artificial sugar, but I'm allergic to aspartame, so I didn't use any of that. I would use stevia sometimes if I really needed something sweet. And alcohol and red meat. So it's just so that you know, it's very dangerous to do a full elimination diet for very long. The only reason that I did such an extreme diet was because it had a time limit, 16 weeks. I knew what I was doing after the 16 weeks. I was going to heal my gut, but I really needed to give my gut a rest. It needed time to heal, and your gut will heal very quickly if it's given that time to heal. So that 16 weeks was really important to get me started. Okay, so I'll tell you, it's 2 parts. Each part lasts for 3 weeks, and it should last about 6 months. I saw results a little bit quicker than that, and I don't know why. So really, I was on the diet about 14 weeks, really. And I'm still a little bit on it, and so I'll do an update video for you guys. But when I got off of the GAPS diet, which is really hard, this diet that I'd given myself, it was really hard to maintain, even with skills. But when I did, I kind of put eggs back. We did poultry a lot, so we incorporated really good proteins, and I started vitamins, because during that 16 weeks I didn't have any spices, and I did no vitamins, not even a probiotic. I did nothing. I just let my gut heal as much as it could on a gut rest. Okay, so when I did start back with supplements, I'll tell you what I used. The first thing that I put back into my diet was MSM. Now, let me just say that no one has paid me to endorse this product or anything like that. So I just got it, and I really liked it. And the thing that I like about it the best is it's a powder. When I knew that whenever I came back from the gut rest, the 16 weeks of gut rest, that I was going to have to do very small amounts of vitamins. I couldn't just pop a pill, because that'd be too much. And I knew that I could dial this back if I needed to, and increase it how I wanted to. And so I got the powdered. And anytime I could get powdered, I did get powdered supplements, because I knew I could, just dissolve it in water and then take it as I needed. I began with half a teaspoon of this when I came back from gut health. Let me tell you when I came back from the 16 weeks, let me tell you what MSM does. MSM is an amino acid, and it's organic sulfur. It's naturally occurring in meat, dairy, and vegetables, and it helps your body make its own antioxidants. It improves the cell wall. And I'll tell you that if you are on MSM, you have to be very careful what you eat, because nutrients are absorbed easier into the cell because of MSM. And if you eat bad, kind of crappy food, you're going to feel bad. And if you eat something that you're slightly allergic to, you're going to feel it faster. That's what happened to me. And also, I increased my dose. I got a little bit impatient, and because it felt so good to take MSM, I had a lot of energy, and I increased it too quickly and I got a lot of lymph pain, especially in my neck. So it's a detoxer. This is what it does. It detoxes your lymph, and it hurt. It's like I had a sore throat on the outside for about 4 days until I backed off of this MSM. So increase slowly. So please be warned about this. I also incorporated a probiotic. I use Saccharomyces boulardii. This is a pill. This is a new bottle, so I'm not going to open it. I already went through one. This is Jarrow Formulas. This is a really good one. I watched a GAPS diet video, the basis of the GAPS diet, and there's a leaky gut video, and I will link that here in this video. But the doctor in that recommends this, so I got it. I also got DGL. DGL is licorice, and these are tablets. And they're kind of brown. These taste like licorice. Yep, they smell like licorice, and they taste like black licorice. So if you don't like that flavor, you probably won't like these. I don't particularly enjoy it, but it's great for the gut health, and it's soothing to the gut, and people have been using this for centuries, licorice, to soothe the gut. So in digesting and stomach lining, so I got this. I also incorporated glutamine, and this is micronized glutamine, and it's for energy, and it is another amino acid. I got the micronized again because I wanted to be able to use really small amounts, and I promise you this MSM and this glutamine will last me probably 3 years. I don't even know. I mean, a long time, because I use so little of it. But I will tell you, there are other uses for MSM. Just going back to MSM for a bit, I hit my foot and kind of lost a toenail a few weeks ago. And MSM is supposed to be great for pain management, and I hadn't used it for that, so I didn't know if it would be or not. And I was asleep and my toe was hurting so badly, and I thought, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This toe hurts. Every time I moved it, the sheet would touch it, and it would be really painful. So I got up in the middle of the night, and I put a large scoop, one of these size scoops of MSM in like a basin of water, and I soaked my foot, and within about 3 minutes my foot stopped hurting, and I went to bed, and it hasn't hurt a single minute since. After that time, we have an older greyhound. She has a lot of joint pain, and sometimes she doesn't want to get up and move around, and she has a lot of joint pain. MSM is great for the bone and joint care, and I've started putting a little bit of this once a week in her water. It is a little bit bitter, so you have to be careful how much you use, but she doesn't seem to mind it, and I know that it has improved her pain. And I checked with my vet before I did that, just to make sure it wasn't going to hurt her or anything. So that is it for me and Vlogust, Vlog 2. And if you have any questions about what I did, or if you want to see an update video, or you want to share your own story about leaky gut, please leave it below in the comments. I'm going to link all of these products in the comments so that you'll have them. I'll also link Spirit of KC's YouTube channel so that you can watch those videos for yourself. And I will see you next week for Vlogust. Bye, everyone.